decided to have a look at the FPGA roots of retro computers using cores rather than the actual real physical hardware. Something I've been meaning to do for ages, but I haven't got around to it because the FPGA stuff I was looking at has been unavailable for quite some time. So I've recently just ordered some stuff over the past week, which has finally been delivered. This I ordered from a company in the US. Sorry, didn't order from a company in the US. This I ordered from a company in the UK. I got an email confirming the address from somebody in Germany, and when I discovered it actually was sent out from the US, which is what I mentioned, the US. So we can have a look to see what I've actually got, because I've not actually opened this. Got it delivered a few days ago, and just have a look. So a bit of DHL packaging by the looks of it, or packaging which is seems to be fairly easy to open. Bits of cardboard, stick that into recycling. And what I should do is, wow, there's lots of stuff. Let's just move this out of the way. Let's put some details. And some bubble wrap. Big bubble. Quite big bubble wrap this. So based on some of the MiSTer stuff, this seems to be part of the recommended bits. So this is our DE10 Nano, so Intel FPGA University program, doesn't it? But this came from was manufactured by Terasic. Did look originally at possibly ordering this from Taiwan, which is where these are made from, but I decided not to in the end just because of shipping and customs and other stuff being in the UK nowadays. Ordered this from the companies. I was a bit surprised when this actually got sent from the US. Let's have a quick nose. So it's all sealed in. Let's see if we can have a look. What we've actually got. More instructions. Yeah, it's certainly well wrapped. I have to give it that. And okay, we have our little package here. There's a bit of reflections. I'll take this out at some point in a bit. So we've got that. Seems like a power adapter. That was unexpected, but that's got a US power adapter on it, so that's going to be 110 volts probably. I can't see what it says. Oops. Get under the camera. What have we got? Oh, it goes up to 240 volts. But again, it's got a US adapter on it, so not unexpected, but to be honest, it was unexpected having a device. And there's some cables. That was unexpected. And a couple of additional bits. So, but that wasn't all. Let's just stick that back in for the moment. Let's stick our little bits back. And let's find some other bits I've ordered. That's well wrapped. This some bits made by somebody in the UK, it seems. How do I get into this easily? Just cut across the top, I guess. So this is part of the MiSTer FPGA stuff I decided to have a look at because that seems to be the most popular. Was never quite sure about what was actually needed. I was trying to work it out. Oh, nice little pack of standoffs and bits, and lots of bits of cardboard. Oh, seems to be something in there. That's wrapped up. I'll come back to that in a little bit. No, little bits in there just to make sure. More folded stuff. Looks like power. And some more standoffs. A little package. More cardboard. Or it's like point-to-point power by the looks of it. More wrap stuff, more cardboard. Another box. We have the box. Oh yes, a 3-pin power adapter, which I'll point out. I shall have a kettle lead for that somewhere. I've got loads of kettle leads around. I know that much. More cardboard and more wrap stuff. Let's chuck that on the floor over there for a moment. Well, it's certainly all well wrapped up. This came off, I think it was MiSTerFPGA.co.uk. Ordered this stuff from, so a guy makes some stuff over here. Check on what I've actually ordered. What have we got? Oh, lots of wrapping, lots of bubble wrap. It's like Christmas gifts all at once. Acrylic case. Okay, so that's what's in that one. So I've got all the bits. I should hopefully do a acrylic case. Okay, I think those adapters of some type with a fan. So I'll take that all out in a little bit. Right, what did I order? It's taken me about 18 months, 2 years to get hold of this. I was looking at this before, bought some computers. It's USB. Oh, yeah, I think this is a digital I/O hub. That's what I was actually after. I did look at the analog ones. There's I'm and ahhing, hard to say which I should actually have. So this is our I/O USB hub stuff anyway. And again, like I say, this is the analog. I'll take this all out in a bit when I get around to putting it all together. Might even read the documentation, who knows. And that's a knife. Oops. Wrongly angled that towards me. Oh yes, I remember this is. This is 128 gig memory module. So for the additional cores, I think it needs some stuff on. So yeah. So for the moment, I need to leave this here. So I'm going to. The video will start again when I start recording again at another point shortly, or well, tomorrow. Okay, so let's start. So part 2 of this. Let's just start with what we've got. Just open some packages and have a nose at them. not really looked at any documentation, so this is a bit of guesswork, and just to have a laugh, see how far it actually gets. So, oh, okay, there's a little screwed in case on the plastic top of it. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. So it's already partially started. Ah, there's an SD card already in it. Did wonder where the SD card went. It's quite funky, so we've got some header pins here, there and everywhere. So I'm not quite sure what any of this is, but we shall discover on our way. So that's our Terasic, what do I call it? DE10. Yeah, DE10 Nano. That was it. So we've got our Nano device. So it's actually quite funky, quite small. So did I have I thought I had a measuring tape around here somewhere, but obviously I have moved it. That's a bit annoying. I thought I had on the windowsill, but oops, there's a cardboard falling off. But it seems not. Never mind. So we should have another. Should. Oops, just a bit of soft tape. Okay, so this is our memory module, and can't get it focused. Never mind. Autofocus would have picked that up, but obviously not today. That's annoying. Dodgy focal lengths. Whatever. Anyway, that's our memory module. Let's do that for there for the moment. What else we got? Oops. Tape everywhere. Okay, so we have our USBs. So we've got USB, lots of USBs, and a power adapter. Okay, so there's a little header here, some description, ground, some other bits. Oh, looks like there's a USB-C as well, a single one. Okay, so it looks like we've got lots of USBs. Guess somehow they fit together. Find that out, and then our last bit is our digital I/O. So what we've got: reset, on-screen display, user, whatever that does. We have a SD card slot. What else we've got? Oh, we have a little power switch. So a switch. This is a switch. Yep. Make sure not break that. Another power. No power. I'll assume that we need a jumper link between these 2 points, so we get power from one to the other. And I assume somewhere along the line, got a little USB from top to bottom. So otherwise somehow these got to link together, I think. Oh, okay, so that's that USB-C. So okay, so that's the USB that goes from the bottom. So from here to here. So I guess that, and we've got a couple of sets of pins here, which also connects between this and this. Oh, okay, so we've got a short set of pins and a long set of pins, so somewhere along the line, to make sure it goes the right way round, wherever that is. Oh, okay, we've got Ethernet, USB, so I'll assume, so let's just have a look to see how this would, okay, so it must be this way round. So I assume that will go in there when I take bits off. And that will go in there somewhere. Okay. Make sure that these go the right way round. Make sure there's no way of putting these the wrong way round. So look. Okay, so certainly not that way round. So it must be that way round. Okay, and so we've got a fan, cooling fan, because I guess that's the FPGA package in there, and we want to keep that cool. Okay, so we've got those parts, got USB, actually. Let's see what else we got in the little bags. Okay, so it's power from something to something. What's our little USB header, which I assume, where's it gone? Not sure how that's going to work, but we'll find out. Oh, that seems to be that way. We'll find out where that goes in a little bit. Some standoffs. There's lots of standoffs. I think I've got a bunch of these with Raspberry Pis as well. Okay, so you get everything out together. If I'm missing bits, I may have to purchase some more stuff, so which means more ordering. I think I've got everything. There's another power adapter thing, or I need to say another way of moving power around. And then I've got some feet. These are all the same size stand. Okay, so these standoffs all look to be the same sort of size. And we've got a bunch of other things. Let's just collect these. Okay, we've got some screws. Which all look to be the same size. A bunch of standoffs. Let's just stick those over there for a second. More standoffs, more of those, some more little bits, another screw, and 3 somethings, whatever those are. We'll find out what those are in a bit. And was there anything else? I think that's actually... Oh, no, hang on. Oh, sod. We have our acrylic case. Oh, nicely wrapped up. So okay, so that's the top. I guess that will sit somewhere. I guess that goes. Oh, we've got our casing bits there. How the hell do? Oh, I see. Right. So that's how we get the buttons. Oh, possibly that way round. Oh, that's funky. Ah, interesting. Okay, so that goes that way round. What else we got? Obviously that's our base. Whichever way round that goes, it seems to be okay, so it's got a MiSTer copyright sign on it, so I guess that might go that way round. It seems to be the same all the way round. Let's just stick that over there for a moment. Got stuff about optical out, powered USB, Toslink, DC 5-volt switch. Where was our switch? Our switch was over there. So on these PCs. Oops. So it's power. Okay, so I guess that is going to go over that side. Oops. USBs. User I/O. It's like a little puzzle, these things. Ethernet. Okay. So that is on this side. I guess. Okay. So I assume we'd actually just put these together somehow. And then we'll go from there. So I guess first bits will be, oops, I'm doing those bits. Where was the RAM go? Interesting. This side faces outward. So that side or that side. We'll come back to that in a bit. Just need to pop out for a bit, so we'll go for the next bit of the video shortly. Okay, on to part 3. Let's see what we've got here. So I think first we'll start with taking the original acrylic case off. So let's just move these 4 screws. Just keep them over here for the moment and use them for something else in a little bit. It's quite cool, the cutouts, the fact that they make everything accessible. Oh, there's some little dips. Just realised down there there's actually some really tiny little dip switches. They're really small, so I have to work out what we're going to set them to in a little bit, because I have absolutely no. Whoops, that was unexpected. Expect that to spin around. We'll find out what they are used for in a bit. So we'll take the original one, put it over here. Oh, there's some more little things. Okay, so there's some more switches here. Got a bunch of whoops, 4 little switches. Oh, what's that? Don't know why that's not focusing. That's terrible, absolutely terrible. Never mind. So 4 switches over here, a bunch of really tiny switches over here. So it's going to be awkward to try and sort those out. But in the meantime, what we shall do is take them SD-RAM. Rather nicely says, what's that? Get it to focus. Oh, there we go. Suddenly it focuses. So this side faces outwards. So I guess that's outwards. So I guess they go onto the GPIO pin headers. So I guess what we'll do is we'll stick it on this side. I'm sure I saw something mentioned about this, so they are all lined up. So what we'll do is apply a little bit of pressure. Oh, that actually went on quite easily. That was unexpected. Okay, so it keeps all these pins free over here. Okay, just see the, oh, come on, focus. So you can see the Altera Cyclone 5 ARM processor there. So I guess these other little IS packages dotted around, don't know what they are, but we'll find out at some point. Right, so what we've got, I'll guess that the USB board will go underneath. Assume if everything's going this way, everything will be lined up in the same direction. Oop, what's touching there? Maybe not that way round then. Okay, that's probably going to need some slightly longer pins. Just notice on this side it's just touching. Maybe the initial, it's a little bit too short. Okay, that's fine. So what we'll do is we'll undo these ones somehow. Something to hang on to it with. Am I going to do this without some pliers, which I should have somewhere? I did have some pliers somewhere. I don't know where they are at the moment. As a show, they don't seem to be hand tight. That's slightly annoying. Okay, let's find something to undo them with. Let's just pause here. Okay, found some pliers. So hopefully I should be able to undo these. Whoop, actually that makes life a lot easier. Okay, so loosen that up. Actually, well, here, I'll just loosen them all up. Okay, one more. Okay, that's all of those loosened. Actually, saying that, I think what I want to do is, oops, what's that? It's this slightly longer standoffs on here. That was a bit too. Oops, that's that one. Shouldn't need to do these too tight because they should be okay. Just a hand tight. Okay, so I think that's better. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so I'll assume that the two powers here line up. So I think that should be okay. What do we do? Do we put the base on at this point? Assume this all just clicks together. Okay, so it goes flat into the bottom. Or do we do the standoffs at the bottom here? Actually, that might be slightly better. Well, I'll find out in a moment. Damn it. Let's just do. And for in the bottom, cutouts look to be the same size. Doesn't matter which way round it goes. Although there's slightly more wider at that end. It's interesting. Or maybe they're exactly the same when I was looking at it. Okay, so for the moment, let's see if these work. assume. Come on, let's get the base off the bottom. Bear in mind, I've actually only had a vague look at the instructions, so this could all end up being wrong. I'll end up redoing it, but why read the RTFM when you can just give it a go and then spend twice as long reading it afterwards. Okay. So that's two. I should tighten them up in a moment. Let's just get 4 screws in, which should leave 4 screws. Oops, no. Okay, so just need to do them hand tight. There goes the screwdriver. Okay. That'll do for that side. No idea where this goes. So we've got a header. Oops, I think I may have jumped the gun slightly here. Okay, so it looks like we have a board connection, so I reckon that goes in there. Oh well, never mind. One reason why I shouldn't do some stuff too tight. Let's just take these 4 off. I'll stick them back on again in a moment. Oops. There goes the board. So yeah, so we've got 4 pins, so we should just slot the 4 pins in there, and we'll take our board here, very gently push that in, that's in, and now we can put the standoffs back in again. Did wonder how they link together. It looks like that was it. Yeah. Oh, there's the SD card. I was just thinking where the SD card has gone. That's over there. Okay, so that's that part. So now we've got our... Oh, so I was wondering where the monitor bit was. So we've got our final bit, which is MiSTer add-on, with another. Okay, so let's have a look. This should only be one way on, so I think if I stick it the wrong way round, then some of the pins don't line up from what I remember seeing. Yep. So the board is off center if you try and stick it on the one way round. So that's quite cool, but it is fairly straightforward. So we should then be able to get, oops, look at where the pins go. So we should be able to just line this up. Oops, that's out, one pin out. So it should be about there, I think. I reckon. Can see the pins down, whoops, down there. But the focus is a bit out as usual because this doesn't seem to be focusing very well. But yeah, that seems to be lined up where it's not using all, oops, all those pins. I just pushed it in slightly. And then that goes in. So that looks like that's all the modules. I should be able to tell because if I have, oops, it's not quite, oh, that's better. So I just realised that one side wasn't quite lined up. If I do that, that lines it up. That's in there. That's in there. And we should have the writing. Oops. Okay, so USB, 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 primary SD card, power, secondary SD. Okay, so that means this must be this way round. Which it is. Oops. What do you know? It's very, very slightly out. Okay, let's just lift it up very, very slightly. Oops. Make sure that everything is in okay. Yeah, just a very, very slight. Oh no, it is lined up. Sorry, that's all right. I was thinking it's going to click onto something there, but no, that is correct on that side. Which basically means our other bits should slot on this side. Why does that look wonky? What is touching where? Yeah. Let us actually stick the RAM on the right way round. Yeah. Obviously wasn't paying attention because I did point out that. Oops. Come on. Oh, focus this side outwards. So managed to stick it in the right. Still managed to stick it in the wrong way round. obviously, fortunately, nothing was powered on. So I'll just slot that in carefully there. And now it's actually straight. Cool. Good spot before I actually managed to destroy something. Okay, so what do we have? We have Ethernet. Other bits on this side. Oops. Well, not as the case may be. So all slots together, so that's really funky. And let's just take our last bit, which includes the power adapters, and that should just slot in there, which means oops, there's our top. So what we do need is our little switches. How am I going to do this? They're going to sit on there. Oops, I have to think about something else here. We shall see. Get those lined up. Nearly. Just a little bit on the case somewhere. Aha! Okay, that's slotted together quite nicely, and what do you know, I missed the standoffs. Brilliant. Okay, so let's just lift that off carefully. More standoffs. Carefully put these in without taking all the bits off. Well, actually that may be slightly easier that way, just to push the bits out while we get the final standoffs in. So we have one, two, another one here, oops, losing bits. Three, and four. Okay, so let's go back to our little switchy bits here again. Oops, those other ones fallen down. Get all these lined up. Oops. And now it's not working. Great. Saying that, actually, that's an easy way of doing this. Should have thought this. Can't do it one way, we'll do it another, which is, let's just stick this in. That way round, and we'll just turn the whole thing upside down without hopefully losing everything. And that should have actually slotted everything together. Okay, that was an easy way around of doing it. So what's that? Oop. Ah, that's it. It's got our little buttons. So it should just be able to stick our final screws in. And then we should, oops. Maybe I managed to get that. Should have that as well. Let's just do our screws just do that gently. Okay, so that's looks like we pretty much have our MiSTer FPGA build done. So 3 buttons on the top. So reset, on-screen display, user. We'll go through, we've got some lights, we've got fans, we've got our board here with an Ethernet, and we've got our USB expansion board at the bottom, and then somewhere along the line some of these things should plug into each other. Let's just have a quick check. So we have a power adapter here. Where's our on-off switch gone? On-off switch gone. So I would assume that part of this actually, we have our on-off switch goes in there. Somewhere along the line, power is supplied down to the other board down there. And then I would assume that's using our long cable here. I'll pick up a shorter one, I guess. Does that fit in there? Those look the same. Just trying to work out. Oh, yeah, okay, so it goes in there. Okay, so I should be able to get, I think you can get a shorter one of these cables, but it doesn't matter for the moment. I'll show, and I'll look at another one at another point. I would assume, oops, let's just unplug that for a moment. That's our original US adapter, which I have lost already. Oh no, it's in the box. What else have we got here? this is our US adapter, so what's this other cable here? So I'd assume that would have gone in there, and then this would have done a split power. Yeah, so I would assume if we've got these two original balls, we would have done the same on this one, on the one I'm using the kettle leads, would have done the same to power 2 bits. I'll have a little check to make sure before I power it on, before I blow things up, especially when it's just causing a lot of aggro. But I don't do anything that looks to be right. I just need to confirm it is correct, but I don't see any other way. What we've got audio in, optical out. Saying that, where is audio? We have audio out on here somewhere. To check on that. Oh, can we get it to zoom in? No. It does say optical audio in and optical out there. So just make sure we can get sound somehow. Right, let's have a quick check. So I think the next bit is the SD card. So let me just pause this for here while I work out what else is needed. Oh, actually, before I pause it, let's find out what else was in the box. Some plastic things. Guess there were 4. Oh, there's an advert for some demo boards, and then we have a couple of USB cables, it seems. So that's the UART bit. USB the Type C adapter. So I guess anyway, we'll find out what some of those are in a bit. What I'm just going to do, probably because there's an 8GB card in there, which probably isn't big enough, but in there's a Commodore 64 tape cart SD. I actually did buy another one, which I haven't actually got around to using it in a real Commodore 64, but I've got a 32GB card, so I might, whoops, do we zoom in? Yep, so I've got 32GB card, so I might actually just use this one for the moment to copy everything onto, if the 8GB one isn't actually big enough. So I took the card which was in the Nano DE10, and it looks like, oops, it's actually a 16GB card, I believe. So I think what we'll use, because this is quite big, is I shall leave the card I've got in the tape cart here. So I'll leave that for my bits, and I shall use this this card here. So should have an SD card reader, which I shall plug in. Shall I've done with it. So it should show up as a device. Which hopefully it does. I'm just trying to find it at the moment. Let's see. and work out what it is. Okay, I believe it's one of the removable discs, so let me just have a check. What I'm looking for. Just a quick check on the PC just to make sure I'm not erasing something unexpected. Come on, come on, come on. Windows decided to connect to Virtual Disk Manager today. Waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting. And I'm still waiting. How long does it take? Let's just pause for a moment while I'm waiting for it. So, back again. Little bit of shenanigans with devices. So what we're going to do is then add bits. Where's my where's it gone? Virtual camera. Okay. Okay, so finally got it to show up. So the device came with some DE10 stuff on it already, which I'm obviously going to get rid of. I have something called Balena Etcher. It's one of the things listed, so I'm just going to use this to format the or to at least put the config down there. So hopefully, I think, is that going to like that? Or is that not going to like that? Ah, not a boostable image. Okay, let me just pause this a moment and find something which should work. Actually, let's just give it a go anyway. Okay, so it's picked up our 16 gig SD card, so let's just use that, and then let's just flash it, and we shall see what it does. If it's got a loud bite behind, so it does, if anything. Okay, something doesn't like Balena Etcher, so let's pause this and find something else. Okay, let's try this with a Raspberry Pi imager, which I already had. So let's just do a custom image. I'm going to take our distribution MiSTer main, and let's see what it does. So we've got our 16 gig storage, and let's just write. So existing stuff will be gone. It's the only SD card storage I've got plugged in. So yeah, let's just do it. And we'll see how badly it goes. Okay, that seems to be a bit quicker than I thought. Let's have a look to see if we can find out what actually went onto it. Let's try that again. Okay, let's just unplug it, plug it back in again, see if we've done it, because it looks like it formatted it a bit quicker than I was expecting it should have done. Oops, it's empty. Didn't quite work as I was expecting, so let's just try that again. Okay, it looks like it was trying to get this formatter up, so let's just let it write, see if it does anything. That doesn't look like it's going as quick as it should do. It should be much quicker than that. Oh no, it is writing 2%. I shall probably speed this up from this point. Right, whilst I'm waiting for that to write, it's just dawned on me on something. With the digital I/O board, as I was just waiting for that, it looks like there was a switch. There was one of the switches needs to be on, which is slightly annoying. So I'll have to take this apart a little bit. So let's put the whole thing. More haste, less speed. More speed, less haste. I don't know. Yeah, it's not easily accessible. I'll do this. Can we do this from the bottom? Oh, it's easier to reach it from the top. Okay, let's just do it from the top. So off with our screws. Fortunately, none of this was on very tight. Well, 23%. Okay. So let's just take that off. And take our little bits here off. Let's put these bits just to the side so I know where they go more easily. Let's undo our standoffs. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's jumped to 75%. So just going to ease our digital I/O board off, and it looks like a switch here. Just switch. So it'll switch. I think it's SW0, 1, 2, 3. So this end switch here needs to be up. So, oops. Oh, come on, focus. That's it. That needs to be up, I think. Let's just do one quick check. Yep. Okay, so that's up. So let's just turn that back around again. And we'll take okay, our stuff has been written, so that should just slot back in there. Make sure if it plugging in is okay, so it all looks to be lined up. So let's just ease that back in again. Yeah, so it doesn't actually require much force, so don't press things down very hard, otherwise it might cause more problems when you want to. Oops, actually stick the standoffs back in before I put the sides in. So at least where this is just hand tight, it makes things a little bit easier. Oops, I have to go back out soon. So I have my horses to do, so that'll be exercise one of them, and then sort out their dinners. Otherwise they'll be very upset with me. Okay, let's just slot all these little bits together. Actually, quite fortunately, there's all these nice little slots to make things easy to put together. So I should be able to. Where's that gone? That's it. That's all our slots. Let's just shift that there for a second. I'll turn this back over. Stick our little button pushy extender thingies over there. Put that upside down. I think we should just click in, and then we should be able to turn it right way up again. Okay, that's cool. That's pretty straightforward. Right, let's get our screws, get our screws here. Final one over here. Is that all? Yeah, that's all slotted in. So let's just do our diagonal screws first so it's all lined up. And that's back in place. Oops. There's that final screw there. Okay, so just a tiny little bit of torque, so yeah, we're all back in again. Right, so that's all our buttons. So let's just grab the SD card. Find the slot, which is there. Make sure we've got the right way up. Just try not to lose the card in. Oh, and that just clicks in there. So that looks to be about done. What have we got here for cable? HDMI. Need a HDMI cable. Let's work out what my PCs are using. Let's just pause it there for a moment. Okay, quick search around about power. So it looks like I was right that this is the power connector, so that we go from the digital I/O board here to there. So it looks like we can actually buy another one at some point, which means I can investigate that a bit better. So what I do need is an adapter, so monitor. So let's just plug a monitor in, and I need a kettle lead. So let's just pause for a moment while I find one. Why is it when you go looking for something, or you don't want something, you're bloody tripping over loads of them, and when you do want something, as soon as you want it, you cannot find one for love of money? But one kettle lead, hopefully it's the right type. Let's just make sure. Okay, that goes in. I think I've got everything else right. I shall have to repoint the camera to one of my screens, which is over in that direction at some point. So I'll change my PC just to one screen for the moment. I'll do that in a bit, but I need to go out, sort out my horses, so exercise and feeding and all those things whilst I do that. So this will have to come back as another part of the video. It's turning out much longer than I was expecting. So yeah, back for another part soon. Okay, so got our next section. Got a keyboard, got our power adapter. So what I'll do, we've got a on-off switch on the side. So what I'll do is we'll face the camera towards the screen and see what happens when we turn it on. So let's just pause and restart to redirect camera. Okay, repointed the camera. Not quite sure how it's going to come out, but hey ho, never mind. Let's just try it anyway. Turn it on and see what happens, if anything. Oh. So power came on. And just wait to see if anything happens. And it seems very, very little. Right, blank screen. Okay, let's just pause it there whilst I investigate. Okay, so I think it didn't find the installer. So we had when I looked on the card, there's a folder on the SD card. There's a folder called distribution main, which then listed a whole bunch of files. So I don't think this is quite right. So what I'm just going to go down a different route. So back to Raspberry Pi Imager again. I'm going to do a custom image, and this time I'm going to use the MiSTer Fusion version, which I believe will allow us to download everything afterwards, all the cores, etc., according to some documentation. So let's try that one instead. I'll go for our mass storage, which is that one. Actually, let's do this again, just in case, because I don't think it's picked up the right. Not too worried about that. So let's go for custom MiSTer Fusion. Let's see if it picks up. Okay, so that's the right device this time, and let's write. So yes, let's overwrite it. That seems somewhat better than last time. Okay, let's have a quick check to see what that's done. Okay, I guess that actually looks better, since it's actually got the DE10 Nano stuff on it. So maybe that will work better. So let's try this one. Okay, so I switched the display back to the MiSTer box. So let's try and power it back on again. See how it works this time. Oh, ooh, that's out of focus. Oh, okay, that worked a bit better. Oh, that's a terrible image. We've got Alice, you've gone and quite mangy. Cat, but your grin's a comfort. Cheshire Cat, you've picked up a bit of an attitude. Still curious and willing to learn the hope. American McGee's Alice. Okay, let's just wait for it to do whatever it's doing. But at least it works. Oh, actually, it's missing a little bit of the display there. Let's just move around. Oh, that is terrible. Never mind. Well, I guess that's something. So obviously there are no cores, so I think it's possibly doing some stuff, so let it carry on doing what it's doing for the moment. Let's see if it actually does something. I'll probably speed this bit up, depending how long I have to wait for. Or maybe not. Okay. So looks like I was waiting. So some settings I need to do. Yada yada yada. Do I want to modify things? Yes, I do. Let's update Wi-Fi. Ah, interesting. No WLAN detected. I thought this was meant to have Wi-Fi on it. That is a bit more of a pain. So out of in here. Try once more. Okay, no Wi-Fi adapter. Right, let's see if I'm downloading all the cores to put in it instead. Yep, I'll start doing that. So let's just pause this. Okay, quick check shows up right. I need a Wi-Fi dongle, which I didn't realise, but never mind. Okay, let's find some cores to stick on this instead. Okay, got the SD card here on my right hand side, and off of GitHub, downloaded this file, distribution MiSTer main. And that's what I wrote originally onto the SD card. Obviously it didn't boot because it was missing the base Linux stuff. So according to what's been said, you just pretty much copy everything which is on here. So I assume what have we got? Let's just keep the menu bits. We'll just take that. We'll leave the menu, leave this file called MiSTer, because they seem to be maybe slightly different. Let's just take these final two files, so I should be able to just copy those onto the SD card. Oh, 14 minutes to wait. Let's just I'll pause this and unpause when it gets towards the end. Okay, back to the dodgy image again. Just try to sort this out so it's a little bit better. Got it lined up, so got the SD card in, so let's see if we can start booting it again. Okay, so that's given us some bits. Let's just go for computer, and because it's the first time me using this, let's find oops, oops, well, my first ever computer, which was a ZX81. So as this is my first use of this MiSTer box, let's just try it with the ZX81. Let's see what it does. Oh wow, and there is a ZX81. So that works. Oops, don't know what the keyboard layout is. That's P. Oh. Oh, don't know. Well, so that's pretty. Oops. Where's it come? It pretty much does seem to be quite real. The way it acts is certainly seems to be quite similar. Even the fact that you get some odd little bits. I'll have to try this out with a normal ZX81 at some point, of which I have a few around here. Oh, not actually in here at the moment. Oh yeah, there's one of them. Whoops, didn't show it. So there's one of the original ZX81s, so I'll try that at some point. And we'll see what it does. So let's just try and run that. Oh, okay, well, there used to be a scroll thing, didn't there, in the basic? I can't remember that. Anyway, that worked, so that's cool. I have absolutely no idea how we get out of this afterwards, but still, that works. Don't know how we do tape loads. It's probably something where we can actually work out how to load things from tape or how to associate things. I don't know what's actually on this card, so it's hard to say. Well, it does, but anyway, still, it does actually work, which is quite funky. So yeah, I think we might actually just leave it there for the moment. So that's an install of a MiSTer from start to finish. I know it's been a long video, but hopefully if people try and build their own, find it quite useful. So just move the camera around a bit so I can just see the working box. Let me just pause this, just unpause, and here is our working. Oops, I seem to have just to pull it out. Cable somewhere. Oops, what did I do? Moved it up. The cable, video cable wasn't in properly. So yeah, so this is our work. Oh yeah, there was a reset here, wasn't there? So reset there. Yep, that was a reset. I remember now. I saw a reset. I'm going to think about user and one other button. Actually, let's just try one thing to see if this shows up. Oh, let's just pause this. Okay, so let's go back to computer, ZX81. Does that do anything? Nope. Okay, so one of these buttons was user. Oh, okay. So what have we got? Aspect ratio, video, inverse, video. Oh, okay. Black borders on off, scan doubler, normal scale, stereo. Well, that's no sound. Models X81. low RAM off. Up. There's something there about loading stuff. Oh, okay, so that's probably the actual folder where stuff is actually stored then. How interesting. Okay, so that is something to look at. I should have a bunch of software around, probably. And then, yeah, let's see what we actually have beyond that. So that seems quite cool. Okay, so how do we come out of this? Oh, okay, so that should, oops, that should give us, where's exit? Exit. What's this other button do? Oh, reset. Okay, that's fair enough. So, okay, let's call it a night because it's quite late in the evening here, but yeah, that's actually quite funky. I have a working ZX81. Whoops, print and. Cool. So, yeah, that is, oh, that's dark. Thumbs up.